Smash that like button and subscribe, hit that bell. Alright guys, what's up? This is SonicSol here with another video. This time I've got a tutorial for you guys on M Bison, who recently dropped 2 days ago as of the recording of this video. I definitely have been grinding with him a little bit. I've played a few matches, almost 200, and I have a 65% win rate with him roughly. I got master rank very easily, and I'm at 1700 MR at the moment. It's interesting, you know, how this character is, and he might be pretty good for the meta moving forward. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about Bison, what to do with him, whatever his normals, his specials, his supers, how to use them. Let's go into it. So Bison is a power type character, kind of like Marissa. The thing about Bison is he is like he wants to play like this really degenerate, anti-zoning, sort of anti-neutral play style, and he's got a lot of tools to kind of like bypass neutral while also being very high damaging with his conversions when he gets the initial setup. So he's not difficult despite what the game tells you. Here are his normals. So his standing medium kick is a really good poke that you're going to be using to kind of like measure the range where your opponent's standing at, and it's obviously one of the buttons that you're going to be using to keep that mid-range and as like a ruler, because it leaves you in a good space for all of your other options. It leaves you in good space for your scissor kick. It leaves you in good space for your standing heavy kick if they jump. It leaves you in good space to do standing heavy punch, which is plus if they walk back and you notice it. You know, this button is a really strong poke, and it's going to be where you kind of keep them in check and keep them within that range where you can like make sure you have the right spacings on a lot of stuff. So this is your main poke. Your crouching medium kick is a low, obviously, but not only that, it's special cancelable. And on a charge character, it's kind of funny, right? Like that he's got something like that, a cancelable low forward. His low forward is also really good at stopping people from walking back alongside his standing heavy punch, which, you know, you can condition them to be scared with this, and then if they walk back, you do that. You do the standing heavy punch, which is plus on block. So if they try to press a button after, it's +2 if you space it, but it's +1 up close point blank. That button is really good if they start to get scared of your other tools, which we'll talk about. Standing heavy kick is one of your main anti-airs next to crouching heavy punch. And standing heavy kick is also really good as a combo starter. See, you're +6, so you get crouching medium punch. With his crouching heavy punch, on counter hit, it causes a juggle state. So what this means is that they won't air reset like you would if you hit them with like an air normal. You see how they just fall back and then they're standing up again? But if I do crouching heavy punch, well, they get knocked all the way down, which means you can do a special move after, right? If you do it too high, you can't cancel it, right? You see how I can't cancel it? But if I do it like lower to the ground, I can cancel it, which is bananas, by the way, because you could go into super, and that's a clean 5k. Like 48k, 56 with CA. So yeah, this button is one of your main tools to anti-air with next to this one. Back hard kick, which is one of your main tools you're going to be using on offense primarily, because it doesn't have that much pushback and it's +1 on block. So if they press a button here, they're going to get counter hit. That's why you kind of can go in a jab, or you could go into stand light kick, because stand light kick doesn't have that much pushback either. So you can use either or of these. You're probably going to be doing crouching light punch though, because you want to maintain the charge. You can go into the head stomp, right? Double reverse. So you can maintain charge that way while using back hard kick. And it's +1, so they can't really press a button, so you can mix that in with throw. You have forward hard punch, which is a really good overhead, and it's also useful in combos because it causes a ground bounce. Also really good out of drive rush because it's +1, and in certain setups it's really good too. So he also has a few target combos too, so you could also go, instead of just doing this overhead, you could also go into it from the stand medium punch, and you can also do this into a standing low, right? So this is forward hard punch after the standing medium punch, and then this is down heavy kick as well. And these target combos are going to be really useful for a move later. He also has this original slide. This slide, you could kind of space it out like the old school days, but it's kind of hard, right? Like it's not very easy to space out. And at some ranges, it is minus, right? Like I got it to be -6. It's not really something you're going to be doing in this game. Yeah, this is not something you're going to be really doing as much in this game because it is still punishable. But some people will be thrown off guard because, you know, some people will try to punish it with a sweep right after. But in general, this move, you know, it's old school, but nobody's going to really do it as much anymore. Maybe to kind of throw people off. Crouching strong is obviously also really disjointed. It's your universal disjointed button. So if anyone tries to like drive rush in, you want to be using this button the most. Standing medium punch, by the way, as well, it's 0 on block. So if you drive rush into it, it's +4. So you want to be doing that in order to maintain pressure. Same with the back hard kick, like I said, because if you drive rush into it, it's +5. And then in standing heavy punch, like I said before, is +1. If you drive rush into it, it's also +5. So Bison, they gave him some belligerent ass special moves. And I think that's probably what's going to make him really strong. The first one that a lot of people are complaining about at the moment is Scissor Kick. Scissor Kick, he's got 3 different versions. There's the light one, there's the medium one, and then there's the heavy one. So the heavy one is the one that is -4, but it has the most amount of startup, and it goes really far, right? The medium and light ones are both -5. But the thing about these is that because they're pushed back so far, the pushback is ludicrous, and then they can't really stick out a light. I'm gonna have Ken do his standing light kick, and you're gonna see that like he can't reach. Nothing reaches. Nothing reaches. If you properly space this move, no one's gonna be able to punish you. No one's gonna be able to punish this. And so the whole point of you pressing standing medium kick here in this range is so that way you can space yourself out. Your light or medium scissor kick, right? See that? See how he can't punish me there? So a lot of players are gonna attempt to try to like neutral jump or DI when they see it. That's a lot of what the lower level players are gonna do. And the higher level players are gonna walk forward and try to parry, because if you notice, it takes off a half of your drive gauge. You know, it's messed up, man. You're losing a lot of drive gauge off of this, and your opponent is gonna want to make sure that they can make you misspace it, so they can punish you. So you want to use this to your advantage. You want to be able to see what they're gonna do, wait, and then whip punish them using the scissor kick. That's primarily how you're gonna be using scissor kick, to kind of be like a belligerent force and just be as annoying as possible with it. And it's gonna force them to want to jump, DI, parry, walk forward, and then that's where your low forward comes in, right? Because then when you do your low forward, they're gonna walk back and then they'll get hit, and then you can drive rush with it. So like they'll walk back and then you do your drive rush, or you know, you can also do standing heavy punch, because they're going to be trying to walk in and out of ranges to stop your scissor kick. And then this is plus, so then you get your offense, right? Because it's +1. So that's how you use the scissor kick. You use the scissor kick so that way they get conditioned by it and they want to run away from it, or they try to jump or DI or etc. And then that's when you use your other normals to kind of like get by and get in, or that's when you just drive rush in, right? So that is how you use scissor kick. This is not charge. This is a motion. You can walk back and forth while doing this, and you can also do low forward while doing this. But the rest of the other moves that he has, aside from this one, which we'll talk about, are all charge. So this first charge move is his Shadow Rise, and he has a lot of follow-ups from it. The first follow-up he's got is the kick, and that's the stomp. And he can stop at any point. If he stomps on their head, he can then follow up again with a jumping heavy punch, or he can bounce forward or backwards in any direction. right? And the thing about it too is that when he bounces forward, he can also autocorrect, right? Like that, see? So it is a good way of stopping people from just trying to anti-air your regular jump, because if you look at the Shadow Rise and then you look at his jump, his regular jump, they look identical, right? They look identical. The thing you want to look for is the smoke beneath his feet, right? The jump and the Shadow Rise look identical, and so you can bait a lot of anti-airs with this. And I've gotten a lot of mileage using the stomp to kind of like bait anti-airs and then punish people. And the other thing too is with Devil Reverse, which is the other follow-up, this Devil Reverse is actually plus. You see, it was a true block string. So they have to worry about this, and it's a really solid air-to-air. So they've got to like delay their anti-air or air-to-air you potentially, or, you know, they've got to play around this. And that's going to make it difficult for them to anti-air. Psycho Crusher, now this is negative. All of them are negative on block. They're like negative double digit. The thing about the Psycho Crushers is that they all go through fireballs. All of them. You will eat one hit of the fireball. Obviously, it doesn't happen on startup. It only happens on the active frames. But you will beat out fireballs if you've already thrown this move out. And so that's the thing. That's why this move is so minus, because it can eat fireballs. There's another reason why it's minus, but generally speaking, this is the main reason why, because it gets your offense started and you go through fireballs with it. It's also a really solid anti-air. If I have Ken jump at me and I do the medium version of this, I'm gonna anti-air him every time. I can wait pretty late to anti-air him, because the medium version has some airborne invuln. So you can use the Psycho Crusher to anti-air. And with it, you get the knockdown and you get the Oki, which, by the way, the Oki from this is pretty good, because you get to do drive rush back roundhouse, which we talked about was really plus. As you can see, you want to use this to anti-air people. And it's very good, especially when you have them in the corner and they want to jump out, because between that and another air-to-air, which I didn't talk about, which is Hell Attack, you can use Hell Attack in order to like keep them in check for very close jump-ins. But you can also use Psycho Crusher, right? Because Psycho Crusher has that airborne invulnerability, to where if they try to jump out, you can anti-air them. You know? So you can either use the Psycho Crusher, you can use Hell Attack, or you can use Crouch and Fierce. But Psycho Crusher has a lot of airborne invuln, and so you're probably going to be using that the most. This is a new special move, the Back Fist. So of course, go back punch, he lands this like Psycho Mine on you. And this Psycho Mine enhances all of the other special moves that he does. So if he plants this on you, you're probably going to worry about a Psycho Crusher, which will then be plus on block. If I have Ken block here, after doing the Psycho Crusher, I'm +5, right? And that's kind of why the Psycho Crusher is minus on block normally. Because if you set up the mine with it, then it's plus. It's +5. All of them. Which means you get an actual, like, frame trap. You could do standing medium punch because there's a gap here. I could actually press medium punch if I wanted to. Then he gets frame trapped and then he dies, you know, so they have to actually worry about that. And you can also play shimmy games with it too. The other thing too is when you do Back Fist again, it also becomes plus, right? You become +6. If you do Devil Reverse, it has a follow-up, and on block, +16. Now the Back Fist is negative on block, so you have to be careful. And I would say, like, if you're doing like a combo, the first hit of this will whiff from lights. So you really gotta be careful when doing this, right? You see how this whips after 3 lights? So you have to do 2 lights, because it doesn't have a lot of range. So you have to just be careful with that. The EX special moves are important because they basically make the character super belligerent. Alongside the scissor kick, which I already talked about, I would say the star of the show is EX Psycho Crusher, bro. This move is busted. I've had to like redo the recording of this tutorial like 30-40 times because I couldn't stop laughing about this stupid fucking move. So EX Psycho Crusher, right, gives you the knockdown on regular hit. It's fully invincible to projectiles, okay? Not from the first frame, but it is fully invincible. So it goes through the projectile, it just eats it through. It's a really solid anti-air, right? If you delay it, do it really late. It's got a lot of airborne invulnerability. See? On top of that, on block, this shit is -3, dude. It's -3. Why? It's -3. It goes through projectiles. It anti-airs. It knocks down all hits so it gets Oki. You have the mine on top of them and you do Psycho Crusher, EX Psycho Crusher. This shit is +10. It's +10. So he gets pressure after, and then on top of that, if it connects, dude, they're dead. They're dead. They're dead. If they jump, they die. If they throw a fireball, they fucking die. And if they block, you're +10. What the fuck is this move, dog? Basically, if you don't know what the fuck to do with Bison, bro, you do this move, bro. You do this move. Like, I don't know what else to say besides that, and I better stop before I ramble on. EX knee press is a good combo extender. You're not gonna really do this on block. You can do EX knee press into the overhead, into the quarter to go back light punch. And that puts the mine on top of them. EX knee crush, drive rush, stand medium punch, heavy punch into that. He's got another EX move. Obviously, he's got the EX backhand. This one is different from the regular one. The difference between doing this and this is that they're much closer to you. So if you drive rush at them, you can be, I'm so plus the back heavy kick whipped, right? So I'm like right next to them. I have to like delay it for it to be like plus. But here, because I did the light one, I'm too far. Like, I'm just gonna be too far. The EX version, it knocks them down in front of Bison, whereas this one doesn't. And it's really good for Oki. That's primarily where you're gonna use it. And of course, you're gonna do it in combos. You're not just gonna do it raw. So you're gonna do like the EX back fist into level 2, or you're gonna do that move. You're gonna do this into the level 2 as well, because it also causes enough hit stun. EX Shadow, right? EX Shadow Rise. The EX version of the down up charge move, you can either do all of the follow-ups as EX moves, or you can do the whole move as EX, and it only spends 2 bars. See that? So all the follow-ups now, if I do the double reverse, it actually does 2 hits. Thing about this too is that if I do the Shadow Mine and then do EX double reverse, I am fucking massively plus. I'm +24. I can dash in. Where the dash in wouldn't be real from the regular pop, from EX double reverse, I get a free dash in. You can't do anything. So let's say they don't have the mine on, right? And you just literally do EX head stomp. You're +6. You're +6. See that? You're plus and you're in their face by just doing this. And it's fucked up because you can use this as a way to shimmy people. He gets punish countered. In niche scenarios, like when you fight like somebody like Geef, who I think that matchup is not very good in my opinion for Bison, but against Geef, This is one of the things you can do against him. If he does like lariat, see how it hits me? Yeah, see how it's trading now? Beats him. So against certain matchups, like, you could use that as a way to just straight up beat their anti-air, which is hilarious. Now let's go ahead and talk about his supers. So his first super is his knee press. It's his quarter circle forward kick. You can use this to kind of like beat out normals, but it won't beat a projectile. You'll just straight up lose to the projectile. You're gonna probably use this as like his reversal or as a way to end combos, because there's no real other like usage for this. The move itself doesn't even do that much damage compared to everything else he does. It does very little damage. It does 2k. So you're probably just going to use this at like the end of combos or just as a reversal, because Bison doesn't have a reversal. He doesn't have any wake up EXDP or anything like that. His level 2 is a little different, right? Like his level 2 is like his Ultra 2 from Street Fighter 4. He stomps the ground, and he can basically use this to go through projectiles or go like over projectiles. Punish counter. So they can't really throw a fireball here. It'll punish them, right? And you can control where it lands by holding a direction. Because you can direct it, it can hit behind him, and so you have to block the other way. So, for example, I'm gonna have Bison do it to me. I'm blocking. I got hit. It's a cross up. So you could do that setup to kind of like throw people off, but obviously it's not like very good because you could just parry. See? And then you don't get hit. But it's pretty ambiguous because you can make it hit on the same side or different side. This setup is usually good for like burnout. I wouldn't say it's really good to just do this like when they have meter. You should do it when they're burned out, because then they have to guess what side you're going to do it on. Outside of that, you're going to be using it to punish projectiles, and of course you're going to use it at like the end of combos. Because level 3, it doesn't go full screen like the other Psycho Crushers. It probably goes around, yeah, one character space away, which is kind of sad, right? Because you would think you would be able to use it to punish projectiles like that, but that's really what his level 2 is for. This is basically going to be done at like the end of combos. It's your cash out super. It's the one that's gonna deal the most damage, especially at CA. It does so much damage. So if you have the mine on them and you land any counter hit, it's gonna do a lot of damage into this level 2. If you're pretty much cashing out the level 3 here, and it's gonna do 8k. It's insane. The character does so much damage. So that's where you're gonna be using the level 3, just to cash out the damage. You're not really gonna use it to punish anything per se. You could try to use it as like a pseudo anti-air or to like punish a fireball around this range. But generally speaking, it's just a combo ender. You're gonna be using it there. So I covered some basic pointers, but generally speaking, what you're gonna do is you're gonna play stand medium kick range, and you're gonna mix between doing that and scissor kick, and you're gonna be very annoying and do like some head stomps or some devil reverses to make it very, very annoying for your opponent to anti-air you, right? Between that and of course doing, like I said, scissor kick, you're also gonna be doing some Psycho Crusher, some EX Psycho Crusher, just to kind of like be belligerent. And then once they start getting nervous of like dealing with those tools and they're trying to like handle them, they'll start to like jump, or they'll start to be patient, whichever order. Just notice what kind of player they are. If they are very patient and they're walking away from you, you do stand and heavy punch because it's plus. You do low forward into scissor kick, right? You kind of walk them down to the corner while using these tools, and you want to be charging all the time while you're using scissor kick. If they're being super aggro and they start to like jump at you or go ham, that's when you start to play more patient and you wait for them to jump in and you anti-air with Psycho Crusher. That That is the general strategy within the mid-range. Obviously, you can whiff punish too. Like I said, if they drive rush, you can use crouch and strong. And remember, like, if they're patient as well, you can use drive rush to kind of like get in with jab, which leads into a combo. Right. Of course, like I said, you anti-air with Psycho Crusher, but you could also use crouching heavy punch because that causes that juggle state that I talked about before. And you can also use standing heavy kick for longer ranges. If they're like this close at you and they're jumping in like this, like behind your head, you want to use Hell Attack as jump medium punch because that'll net you a combo. See? Especially when they're in the corner, right? And they try to jump out. Then you can use the target combo in order to get the combo and then put the mine on them. Because now the next hit that you do to them is going to deal mad damage. When you finally land the hit, you want to go into the mine, right? You always want to go into the mine. If you want, you can go into Psycho Crusher instead. And it gets you the better Oki. But I recommend the mine because now what's going to happen is most players are going to try to wait for you to Psycho Crusher so they could drive impact you. So what you want to do is, because they're so far away, they're practically full screen, this is the mind game of like, okay, are they going to try to react to your Psycho Crusher, or are they going to have to like be patient and wait for you? Like, because you land this move, you could Psycho Crusher and it gets you the Oki, or you could not do Psycho Crusher because you know they might DI you, and then you do double reverse. Or you can bait them. You can bait them with the head stomp, right? And then they'll try to anti-air you. You've got to be able to play with their fear off of the mine. So when you land the mine, let's say you finally land the mine. You land that combo into the Psycho Mine. What you're going to do is you're going to use that bomb to play with them on your offense, because it allows you to get that pressure. Especially when you get in the corner and you do it, which is going to be where it's going to be the most applicable. Either that or EX Mine. Like if you do the EX Mine here, then you could be next to them if you drive rush. But the point is, if you're next to them and you have this mine on top of them, now you want to structure a block string to where they're going to have to hold the bomb afterwards. So I'm going to have Bison mash his crouching light punch. He literally dies if he mashes. I'll show that off now. He's dead. Like, he's pretty much about to die. 76-30, right? He's dead. Let's say they mash after they block this meaty back hard kick, right? There we go. So if they mash after the first back hard kick, you just do another one because it's +8. They're dead. So now, so if they keep trying to mash, let's say they try to mash after the second back hard kick, you're +1. So now you do jab. And this keeps going. We could keep going. Each frame trap leads into a lot of damage, right? And they're not going to want to press a button. Sure, they could try to parry or drive reversal, and that stuff does matter. Some people could EXDP, but this block string is important because you can structure it to where the target combos that we're doing will activate the bomb on the same frame and leave you plus. See that? They can't press anything because this is a standing low, right? Like if they press on this standing low, the bomb blows up and you get a combo. See, they can't press. It's the same way if you land the overhead. If you do the overhead, they also die. See, because it's also plus. So you can use the target combo in conjunction with the mine to force them into a high-low scenario that they have to worry about the bomb after. But that's a more complex scenario with the mine. A more basic scenario with the mine is if you've already landed the knockdown and you can go for a simple overhead, right? So this overhead, it's so funny, right? You can just do it auto time. That complex mix-up I talked about, you don't even have to do all of that. You could just do this. That meaties, and you're +7 on counter hit, which means you're +5 on normal hit. See that? You're +7, which means now you go into EX Psycho Crusher off the overhead, and they're fucking dead. Off of an overhead, by the way. Off of an overhead, by the way. Overhead. Or after the combo. Plus, you see how you're +5 here. So you literally get a full combo. You drive rush. Into Psycho Crusher. And then they die. I've hit so many people with this. It's insanity. The other thing too on offense is that if you land this mine, if you land the subsequent hit after, is you get a safe jump, because all of your special moves, if you do the back fist, safe jump. That's a meaty jump in. So you should be doing wake up super here, right? Cool. And if I safe jump him here, he dies. And then if he presses a button here, safe jump. That's a very easy safe jump to do. And the funny part is, you also get this with Psycho Crusher if it pops. Safe jump. You also get safe jumps without the mine. Safe jump. So you get all these safe jump options once they have the mine. You get all these frame trap options once you put the mine on top of them. It's fucking wild, bro. Like, anytime they get hit by anything while you have the mine up, they have to worry. They have to worry about it. I think Bison is a very strong character. I think he's very powerful. He does have some weird matchups against characters like Geef and Manon. A lot of the grapplers kind of do him in, and I think that's like a historic thing with the character. But outside of that, this character is powerful. He is absolutely insane. If you want to play him and you think you want to just do scissor kick all day, you know, this is the character for you. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope that I was able to teach you guys a few things about the character. He's very strong, and have fun with him. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this. And like the video and comment down below if I forgot anything. If there's anything that I didn't mention in the tutorial, let me know. And if you found something useful out of it, comment down below. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. SonicSol out. Be easy.